Hi, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Today I want to talk about how can a Westerner tell if a Filipina is using him online. So one way, and there's probably more than I'm going to list here. One way is if the person the Westerner is talking to seems over the top with how much they are concerned about themselves, talking about themselves. Maybe they're not seemingly as interested in asking questions about you, but they sure like to, attract attention to themselves. That kind of self-focus would be, an indication that maybe if she stays with you longer, it might be for something else. I don't know. Another way is she doesn't remember details about you, which means she didn't even bother to want to write them down. But if you find yourself having to repeat, just let's say where you live or where you're from or how old you are, that sort of thing, or your names of your relatives, but you get the idea that she's not really trying to remember details about your life that you probably are trying to remember about her, then that would be a sign that she might be using that Westerner. Also, if she's more than happy to take your money, maybe she doesn't ask for it, and she shouldn't, but if the Westerner offers her money, they haven't known each other very long, maybe just a couple months or so, if she's more than happy to take it, well, that's a red flag, and that would be a sign that she possibly might be using him eventually. If you have to do all the contacting, if the Westerner has to do all the contacting, and it seems like he's just like a secretary or something, well, then, whenever they do get together, that might just indicate that they really don't have much potential, and she is using him. Maybe she'll be asking for money, but there should be a somewhat balanced amount of desire for one to contact the other once you're familiar with each other's time zone differences. If one guy is doing all the contacting or asking all the questions, that could be a bad sign too. Another thing is if Filipina contacts a Westerner, and it seems like it's always because she wants something from him, well, quite possibly she is using him. If the Westerner begins to sense that he's not really a big priority to her, it could come in tone of voice in her answers to her questions, or maybe she doesn't want to go too deep into it, or she just, I don't know, she looks like she's distracted or not enjoying herself, but she's still there, especially if there's some money involved. Well, then she is probably, using that Westerner. But of course, never send money until you've at least met in person. If you feel like she's just not appreciative or grateful or thankful for anything, like I don't know, maybe you send her a gift, I don't know, maybe you send her some money, I don't know, or you're very complimentary, but she doesn't seem to respond in kind, she doesn't seem to just be thankful for anything, then she might be around for the wrong reasons. If this Filipina keeps avoiding wanting to talk about the two of you getting serious, then she's probably stringing the man along. If she resists talking about getting serious, and not only that, if she's hesitant to even put a label on where your relationship is. Are we serious here? Are we still just friends, or do we have marriage potential? If she doesn't want to think long term, that could be a sign that she is using him. Your gut feeling will go a long way, but it never hurts to have other people in your life know about, at least one person know about your situation with somebody online, so they can maybe help you see some things, ask you some questions that maybe you could ask her, because they don't want to see you get hurt. If the Filipina is inquiring a lot, even if you've already told her a few times about your finances and where you work, or do you own your own business, or specific investment questions, or do you have a house, then if she keeps doing that and you feel like, well, I thought I pretty much already told her that, and she seems preoccupied by it, I would say that's a sign she might be, using that Westerner. And also, if it's just stagnant and you don't know why don't one of you break it up because it doesn't seem to be going anywhere, well, maybe she could, but she's just holding on for some reason. So those are just some thoughts on online relationship with Filipina. Could be anyone else. I married a Filipina, that's why I'm concerned about that. So let me know what you think about the idea of Westerner getting used in a very long distance relationship with a